Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Spooks Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right. And we back again with the Viewers Anonymous podcast, giving you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. Happy New Year, and what's going on with you, my guy?
Happy New Year as well, man. I'm good, man. Just had a few senior moments tend to happen to me as of late. But I'm good though, man. Just
That's what's up.
looking forward to, I mean, it ain't even really like a new year and shit, because like for me, it's just I'm doing the same shit I would have been doing last year. I don't do all that
Absolutely.
New Year's resolution shit. Like I'm gonna be me, so it just is what it
Same here.
is. But but I mean, it's still some things to look forward to though. But how you feeling though, man? Everything good with you?
Oh man, everything cool, man. No complaints. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying, life right now as best as I can. So, you know what I'm saying? Trying to keep everything positive, man. Trying to keep everything in good spirits, even though I don't have any New Year's resolutions, it is a new year. You know what I'm saying? It's new opportunities, new things on the horizon. So I'm excited about, what this year brings, man.
Yeah, I mean, so am I, man. Because if I look at it from a calendar year, you know what I'm saying, it was a very roller coaster of a type of year. You know what I'm saying, for
Absolutely.
myself. But I always kind of really look at it like, man, looking through the windshield and not the rearview mirror. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just looking forward, really just trying to push life forward and push this, you know what I'm saying, these podcasts forward. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
Take these bad boys to a new and next level. So that is something that I'm, what I'm saying, looking forward to though.
For sure, man. We got a lot of stuff going down this year. Um, First and foremost, this is the anniversary pod. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
4 years strong. Um, Second, this is the first pod of the year. And we got some, like I said, we got some stuff going on. We got the subscription that we started last year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, all of our behind the scenes episodes will be subscription based. So if you want to enjoy those episodes, if you want to hear the stuff that we're talking about, you know what I'm saying, you got to subscribe, man. The link is always going to be in the bio. $2.99 a month. And we plan to bring you guys a lot of content this year. Also, man, you'll be able to continue to watch us on Spotify, but also you'll be able to watch us on YouTube. We're gonna start up a YouTube page for what I'm saying, the pod, man. So you'll see all our clips, all our shorts. You'll see the full episodes, and who else, what I'm saying, knows what's in store. We might end up doing little segments on there just to, what I'm saying, have some stuff for you guys to check out. Um, so yeah, get ready, man. We might even do a couple lives. I think that'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? Do some lives on what I'm saying, some movies that just drop or whatever. So I think that'd be cool. We'll see what we got, what I'm saying, coming up in these next few months. Um, but today is this episode is basically our favorite movies of the past year. It's a episode of reflection. You know what I'm saying? Going back and
Mm-hmm.
looking at the movies that we enjoyed last year. Um, the ones that we didn't think, what I'm saying, that we would like, the ones we were excited about, the ones that we didn't even believe was coming out. And then last year was crazy in itself, you know what I'm saying, because they had a whole writer strike and an actor strike. So this year is going to be very interesting as far as Hollywood goes. So we're going to do a little bit of reflecting last year. So if you're ready to get into it, man, let's do this.
I'm ready, man.
All right, man, lead the charge, brother.
All right, so so we agreed on 7.
Hmm.
So the first movie that I'm going to mention, the seventh movie that I had down. I mean, I got a lot of shit written down, which we can kind of once we get to the end, maybe we could, rattle off some shit. But
Absolutely.
um, but the first movie that I'm gonna talk about, man, it's a Peacock original, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
movie that I end up telling you about that you probably never forgot. But when I tell you that one scene, maybe you'll remember. But this movie called Sick, and
Yeah.
so Sick is the Peacock original, and what it was about was so like these teenagers had went to like they rented like this Airbnb or whatever, and so it happened when the pandemic started. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The coronavirus and shit. So they rented this room, whether it's house or whatever, and so they in there. And the one scene that really tripped me out, before I like kind of get the movie, it's not synopsis or whatever, but it was this one scene where this girl was like they could see they were looking at something. I can't remember exactly what it was. And so the girl said, she was like, it sounds like somebody's outside. And she was like, well, why don't you go check? And she was like, she said, no. She said, it could be Jason out there. And she was like, impossible. It's Friday. She was like, it's Friday the 23rd or some shit like that. And so I personally thought that shit was fucking hilarious because it was just them playing off of the thing of like, yo, like she was like, it's impossible. It can't be Jason because it's not Friday the 13th. So I thought that shit was fucking hilarious. She even sold it and everything. So anyway, so what this movie was about was this family had hunted them down or whatever because the one girl that was in there, so when you were supposed to be social distancing, the girl had went to this party and I think she was making out with this dude or whatever or whatnot, and the
Oh,
boy
yeah.
ended up getting coronavirus and dying.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so the whole synopsis of the movie is so like when these people came in that house and start killing people one by one, and they saved her for last. And so it was the big reveal. So once they revealed themselves, they're like, "Yo, we're doing this to you because we know you was the one who gave our son the coronavirus." And that girl was
Mm-hmm.
like, "This is why y'all fucking killing all of us." Like because she was like, "You were supposed to be social distancing. You took this as a joke." They found her social media where she was saying that the coronavirus wasn't real and she wasn't gonna, social distance and all of this type shit and wear a mask and all of
Mm-hmm.
this. So it was just a family plotting their revenge on this one girl because they feel that she was the one that gave their son the coronavirus and their son died. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a Peacock movie, man. It's called Sick, and that's the one of the films that I thought that was very intriguing that came out this year. So that's my first one, man. What you got?
Okay. So my first one is a Netflix film. Um, and you already know that anytime it's like one of those British films or you know what I'm saying, those English films, I'm definitely into it, whether it's a film show, whatever. Anytime it's a British accent on there, I gotta check it out. You know what I'm saying? Because they have some they got some good content. But this film is called The Strays. And this movie was pretty much about this lady who had, you know what I'm saying, a family, and I don't know if she was having like nervous breakdowns or whatever she was going through, or she was just sick of like living in poverty or whatever it was. But she ends up leaving her family, and um, it cuts to a scene where you see her in a totally different environment, a totally different place. You know what I'm saying? She looked like she got her stuff together. She looked like, you know what I'm saying, she on the up and up. But when she comes home, you know what I'm saying, you see her kids and you see her husband, and you know what I'm saying, they living in this posh posh, neighborhood, and everything just seemed, you know what I'm saying, tea and crumpets in this mug. So, everything going great. And then next thing you know, these two people pop up. And uh it's a young, well, it's a adult male and a young like teenage girl. And they pop up, you know what I'm saying, they end up befriending the kids. The male working at the school as a janitor. that she works at and everything else. And it's like you thinking that these people are like about to kill him, about to kill the family, and what I'm saying, like they stalking the family or whatever. But it comes to find out that the when she left, those were her kids that she left behind. And what I'm saying, they pretty much end up holding the family hostage and, you know, basically threatening the family and basically just a whole bunch of, what I'm saying, crazy stuff happens. It's a thriller. It's super eventful. It's one of those ones that caught my attention and it kept my attention. It was a great movie. A very exciting movie, by the way, too, because it's the plot twist thing. You know how plot twists get me. You know what I'm saying? But it was the whole plot twist of finding out that these people were her kids. And so, you know what I'm saying? It was a great movie, thriller. It's out on Netflix. Check it out. It's called The Strays.
Okay, okay, didn't catch that one this year. Um, so second movie that I'm gonna talk about, underrated movie, came out of nowhere. Um, I can guarantee you. Now, I talked about this film on one of my What We Watching episodes. So if you are a loyal listener that listen to the things that we put out, you would have heard me talking about this. So this movie, it's not a Hulu original, but it was put on Hulu. So I guess they must have got the rights for it or whatever. And it's called The Locksmith. And it had Ryan Phillippe in it. What's my one girl name, man? She played in motherfucking Blue Crush, man. I cannot remember. Kate Bosworth. That's who it is. So it had them two in it. So basically, the locksmith there was this guy who, he used to go rob shit or whatever, and he had this one guy on the job with him, and he usually, I think that this guy, I forget what it was, but he was like the greatest guy to pick locks and shit. Well, he
Mm-hmm.
also was in good with this one guy that was a cop. He was like kind of like the lookout or whatever. Somebody got the drop on him, so he goes to jail. So my dude go to jail for I don't know about 10 years or whatever. But during that arrest, the dude that was with him ended up getting shot and killed by the fucking
Mm-hmm.
cop that was supposed to be with them, but the cop killed the dude, and the guy, he got him locked up. Ryan Phillippe locked up. So Ryan Phillippe, he gets out. You know what I'm saying? He got the baby, and he's trying to get back good with the mom so he can spend time with his child or whatever. And Vin Rames is one of his best friends before he got locked up. So he lived in his mechanic shop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a phone call. Ron Phillippe get a phone call from this girl who happens to be the younger sister of the guy that got shot by the cop. And she ended up getting kind of wrapped up in this prostitution thing. So she's
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I'm trying to get out of this. But she was like, look, you owe me because my brother got killed with you and you told me that you was going to take care of him and you didn't. And now I need basically money to get out of this prostitution situation that I'm in. So
Mm-hmm.
he's fucking, even though he's on probation, he's supposed to be on the right track and all this type shit. He feels that he owed it to this girl. So he goes and try to rob this the prostitution dude, rob him from his money and then give her the money to, you know what I'm saying, the jet. Come to find out, she full of shit the whole motherfucking time. Like she set him up. And
That's
so
crazy.
I ain't gonna like I thought, like I said, for this movie to be, you know what I'm saying, straight to Hulu, however they did it or whatever, whatnot. Like I said, it's an underrated film. It didn't really come out on anything else. I don't know anybody else that have heard of it. But to me, out of all of the shit that I got written down for me to be talking about The Locksmith, I personally thought that shit was a good ass fucking movie. It was written well. It was acted well. I thought they did a really, really good job with that shit, man. So that was my second movie, man, The Locksmith.
Cool, man. So my second movie is one that came out in theaters. I believe it's on either like Showtime I want to say I watched it on Showtime or Stars, one of them, Showtime or Stars. But it's a movie called Sisu, and this movie is set in the late 40s. You know what I'm saying? At towards the end of World War II, and it's about this guy who basically was in the war. He ends up getting out of the war finally, and he ends up just being alone. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much lost everything. He was battle hardened and all that other stuff. So he pretty much just being a loner, and he's out looking for like gold. So he's digging his place. He finds a little bit of gold. Next thing you know, he keeps digging. He finds like a shit ton of gold. And so he get the gold, he break it up, you know what I'm saying, pack it up, and he's, on his way back to, what I'm saying, town or whatever, or the closest town or whatever. And he ends up coming across this Nazi regime or whatever, or platoon or whatever you call them. But they end up basically, you know what I'm saying, fucking with him, and they find out he got this gold on him. So, you know what I'm saying, they put him in handcuffs or whatever, and they got him on his knees and they about to kill him. Well, in the midst of them, you know what I'm saying, about to kill him, something happens and it distracts him. He finds a way to break out the handcuffs, and then he kills everybody on the Nazi team. So all of them dead. And he get away, you know what I'm saying, and he continuing to go. Well, one of them survived. They call in and let them know, yo, it's a guy out here with a bunch of gold. So now all the Nazis is looking for him. So in the midst of all the Nazis looking for him, he going back to, what I'm saying, the nearest town, because he's trying to put the gold in the bank so he can go back home and help, what I'm saying, his people. Well, the Nazis take over his, what I'm saying, his town, but he don't know yet. So the Nazis take over his town or whatever, and they kill all the men and take the women. But when they take the women, you know what I'm saying, they try to fight back or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, they ain't cool. So, I mean, they don't do much of a good job, but they end up getting caught. And they take the women, they driving them, you know what I'm saying, to the next what's they call Holocaust camp or whatever. And basically he just going around trying to get this gold to the bank. But every time he's getting there, you know what I'm saying, like they finding out where he at. So he basically eventually just kill a whole bunch of Nazis, and he ends up running into the truck that has, you know what I'm saying, the women from his village in there. So he realized that the women from his village is in there. He tried to save them, and they basically end up knocking him out. But you know what I'm saying, while they driving off, the one of the ladies started talking to one of the guards and was like, "You don't even know who that is, do you?" And he was like, "He's a dead man now," or something like that. And she was like, "No, no, no, no." She was like, "He's not dead." She was like, "You think he's dead?" She said, "He's probably killed over 100 of your men, maybe even over 1,000." So he like, "What are you talking about with these ghost stories?" She like, "It's no ghost story." She said, "You don't know who that is, do you?" She said, "It's like he's the I forgot where he's from, but wherever he's from, they call him like the death dealer or something like that, the death man or something. The what's the one thing called that come and
The
get you
Grim
when the
Reaper.
yeah, he like the Grim Reaper of whatever country he from, because he killed over like 300 Nazis and shit. So they like, nah, that's not true. So while they talking, somehow he found a way to catch up to them. He wake up, he found a way to catch up to them, and he gets on the truck. He finds a way to get on the truck. So while they talking, dude end up talking. He just all you see is a pickaxe just go through the back of his head and out his mouth. So the
Mm.
dude that's sitting across from him, he just starts shooting at the dude. Right. Next thing you know, he find a way to come around and get dude. And the Nazi leader, whoever dude's supposed to be, basically is trying to, you know what I'm saying, because he ended up getting the gold by this time. So the Nazi dude got the gold. He trying to leave off. He finally leave off, but dude find a way to get on the plane and chase him down and all that. And he basically ended up getting his gold and finding a way to take it to the bank. The women are good, you know what I'm saying? His village is cool now because they got some money. But it's a great movie. It's called Sisu, Sise. One of the best movies I've done seen, especially action movies. One of the best action movies I've done seen. Um, I actually seen the trailer for it. Going to see was it I think Black Panther 2, and I was like, I gotta go see this. So I went to go see it. Yo, it's fire. One of the greatest action movies of last year. Go check it out. It's called Sisu. I believe it's on like Showtime or Stars or one of them. You can definitely, catch it on there. It might even be on Hulu. But I guarantee you it's one of the best movies you'll watch for sure.
Okay, okay, I ain't mad at it. So haven't seen it though. So the third movie I'm gonna speak about is it was in yes, it was in theaters. I didn't watch it in theaters. I watched it on Max.
Uh-huh.
And that is Evil Dead Rise. All right.
That's one. That
So
was one. That's one of mine. I got to change mine now.
okay,
Good call.
yeah, man. So when you actually seen it first and you was
Hmm.
telling me like, yo, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to watch that shit. And
Absolutely.
I think they did a good job. I still personally like the, you know what I'm saying, the one that came out in I think 13 or 15. I think it was 15.
Hmm.
Um, but that one I just like the way they did it. Now, this one was good, and the girl that played the main character, she fucking murdered that shit. But I mean,
Absolutely.
like it was I think when it comes to the Evil Dead movies, the format of the movies is really genius because it's just it's there's so many possibilities with it. There's so many things that you could
Right.
do with it because there's not like a single thing that you have to follow. So it's just kind of like let's just do like some of the most evilest shit that you can see, and let's just
Hmm.
throw all of this shit in the movie. And I feel
Right.
like that's what they're able to do. Like once a person is taken over, that that's just how they do it. Like I even though, and I just had a conversation with somebody on the other day about horror movies in this era. Like it is a genre that's kind of fallen off. I don't know
Hmm.
if people are overdoing it or overthinking it, but it's like with the technology that we got now, you would think like you can take an iconic movie or an iconic character and make that shit better. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen like the new latest. I think it came out last year or the year before. Well, I mean 2022. I don't know if it came out in 2022 or 21, but they did a new Jeepers Creepers movie.
Yeah. I seen a little bit of it.
Super trash. It's
Yeah.
like how the fuck can you make when we're talking about like a character like that?
Hmm.
What I like about Jeepers Creepers is the fact that like he can't die. Like he
Right.
just lives for a long time. Well, like a week or some shit like that, or a day. It was I forget exactly what it was, but
I
he
think it was a
can't
week.
die. Yeah, it
Yeah.
might have been a week, and he can't die. He just basically
Hmm.
hibernates,
Yep.
right? And so it's like, how do you fuck this up? And it's
Well, I
like,
think I think with a lot of these like movies, especially movies with these iconic characters, I think it's more so the moment that makes them iconic, right? And it's hard to recreate moments. It's easy to recreate the character and make the movie more elaborate and what I'm saying, and add all the whistles and bells and everything. But it's the for me, it's the moment that makes what I'm saying. Like for instance, the moment that makes Jason um, such an iconic character is because it's set in a time where when you watch these movies, like teenagers was partying, teenagers was out drinking and doing all of these things, and camps were a big thing at the time. And so now it creates this, what I'm saying, it creates this lore around it. It creates this mystery and what I'm saying, this fear. Um, when you watch Michael Myers, what I'm saying, the fact that this guy is, what I'm saying, this dude that just can't be stopped and he's after his sisters, what I'm saying? Like I think it's just the moments for these characters that make them what it is. Like remember when the first Jeepers Creepers came out, this we never seen nothing like this before.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that at the end of it, you know what I'm saying, the people didn't really get away. They end up getting caught. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I think the brother got caught. I think the sister got away, but the brother
Yeah.
got caught because Justin Long played the brother. But you know what I'm saying? Like just the fact that you know what I'm saying, like no somebody actually got caught and didn't get away. You know what I'm saying? That was something that we weren't used to. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Blair Witch. They had us thinking that the Blair Witch was a real thing. We thought this was real footage being made into a film. But you know what I'm saying? Like just stuff like that, just the you know what I'm saying, the moments make, you know what I'm saying, these characters in these movies what they are. So when you continue to make them, you know what I'm saying, and you don't have that same energy around it and that same hype around it, it ain't gonna feel the same. Ain't no way.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. And I like how they modernized Evil Dead Rise because it was an apartment building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
when it comes to the original thing, like they're out at a camp. Well, not a
Mm-hmm.
camp, but a what do you call it? A log
Cabin.
house, but yeah, a cabin.
Yeah.
So like they was able to modernize it and put it, you know what I'm saying, in a city, in an apartment building, and kind of do it that
Mm-hmm.
way. So I like how they was able to do it. And I like a lot of the kills in the movie, man. They did a really, really good
Yeah.
job with that shit. So um and it really kind of had a moment and it kind of left. But really, when you think about it, a lot of these movies really kind of had a moment and left because we so fast paced now. It's
Mm-hmm.
always what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Which kind of sucks about art because it's like you put all this time and you put all of this effort into something and then you put
Right.
it out and people talk about it for a week and then they move on. Like, give me something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's next? Everything is so fast paced. So it had a moment and it left, but it stuck with me, and that's why it's the third movie that I'm speaking about, Evil Dead Rise.
That's what's up, man. So the third one I'm gonna talk about, man, is a comedy, well, a horror comedy. You know what I'm saying? And it starred a lot of internet personalities, and a few actors, of course, but mostly some internet personalities. And it's The Blackening. And I thought that this was a very refreshing take on horror films, and horror comedy films, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I first heard of this, it wasn't called The Blackening. It was like, I seen it as a skit because they had put it out as a skit, and it was like, yo, it was something about like Black Card or something, and whoever the blackest, yeah, it was like whoever the blackest was gonna die or whatever, or who wasn't the blackest was gonna die. So in this one, they kind of reversed it and changed it around, but it was like whoever the blackest is gonna die. And then it was based around like this board game that nobody ever heard of and stuff like that. And it was in this house that this killer was going around, um, basically setting up the house for them to, uh, get caught up in. And they were all like friends from college who haven't seen each other in a long time and stuff like that. But it was so funny because a lot of the stuff that happened, you know what I'm saying, was centered around Black culture. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that, how when Black people say, Black people never do this in the scary movie or in the scary movie scenario. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yep.
actually that type of, what I'm saying, thing. It was funny. Um, it kept my attention. It was dope. They ended up getting the killer and surviving at the end. So definitely check that out when you get a chance, man. It's called The Blackening. I believe it's on. I want to say it was on Prime, either Prime or Hulu. I want to say it was Hulu. It might have been Hulu, but definitely check that out. And watch that. It's a hilarious movie. Yvonne Orgy, you know what I'm saying, who was in Insecure is in it. Um, Man Boy from Snowfall was in it. You know what I'm saying? They had some,
Melvin Gray, I think.
yeah,
No,
Melvin Gregg. Yep,
Greg,
Melvin
Greg.
Gregg.
Yeah.
Yep. So they had some actors. They had some actual actors in it as well. And then, you know what I'm saying, they had a few people who doing their thing as far as the internet goes. So I like that mix of cast. And you know what I'm saying, I like to see, it was an all black cast, all black directors and everything else. And it was good just to see a movie that was not just for us. I mean, it was for us, of course, but it was a movie that everybody could enjoy. It wasn't just a movie that, so we can enjoy. It was a movie that everybody could enjoy. So if you one of them people that's like, yo, I got a bunch of black friends, you could watch this and be like, yeah, yeah, that's them. That's my friend. You know what I'm saying? So it was a movie that everybody could relate to, and I enjoyed that for sure.
Bad, man. Yeah, gotta watch that one. All right, yo. So the fourth movie that I'm speaking about, I actually went to the theaters to go see this. It's not on anything yet. I think it's still only written by at the moment. But the fourth movie that I'm speaking about, man, is Oppenheimer. Um, let me go ahead and put a public service announcement out there. This is a grown folk movie. It's a
Absolutely.
lot of dialogue. But if you're into that, if you are intrigued by great storytelling, like I said, man, to me, Christopher Nolan is just like on another level when it comes to this shit, man. Like
Absolutely.
the way he's able to put this shit together, the way he shoots it, he just, he kills that shit, man. So, but yeah, Oppenheimer was, what I'm saying, the one of the professors or whatever you want to call him that was involved with creating the formula to do the atomic bomb um, that they dropped in Japan, during the war. And this was basically the time of them. Well, his personal life, whether it's dealing with two women, because he's going through like this hearing type of thing. I don't know if it was like a deposition. It was something more like that. Um, so they're going back and forth between, because I think when they was doing the deposition, it was black and white, and when they was doing everything
When it was
else,
just
it was
regular,
in
like it was
color.
just color.
So,
Hmm.
he met with Albert Einstein and shit. They built this whole fucking town so they could build and test the atomic bomb and shit. Man, it was. I mean, look, Robert Downey Jr. came back, and this was like the first time because I felt like, in my personal opinion, when once he became Iron Man, it seemed like he was always Iron Man. It was kind of
Absolutely.
weird. Like his cadence was always Iron Man, and this time it wasn't. Like I just
Right.
felt like he just went in there and he just put on a clinic this time
Hmm.
around when it comes to Oppenheimer. But I think that it was a really, really, really good movie, man. I mean, look, it's long as fuck, but if you
It's worth it.
appreciate yeah, but if you appreciate the art of cinema, like, and you are old school enough to be able to, you know, not only appreciate it, but have the attention span that it needs, you will enjoy this movie.
That's the one. That's the
So
one right there. The attention span,
yes,
for
yes, you
sure.
got you got to have the attention span because if you don't, you're gonna be like, oh, this is boring and all this type shit. But no, this shit it was a really really fucking good movie, man. So that's the fourth film
Hmm.
that I'm speaking about in this Oppenheimer.
That's what's up, man. I had to knock that off my list too.
Well, I
But
mean, I mean, you can talk about it. You know what I mean?
oh no, no, no. Trust me, I got a lot of them to cover, so I don't even worry about it. I just wanted to let you know, what I'm saying, we on the same wavelength, man.
Okay, so that's two then. That's two.
Absolutely. So my what we on four?
Yeah.
Okay, so my fourth movie is a movie on Max. Um, and it was one of the movies I stumbled on. I believe it was one of my what we watchings of last year. And I just so happened to stumble on it because I seen the cover of it. It wasn't even, what I'm saying, nothing that I heard about it, nothing like that. I just seen the cover. It came out on Max, only on Max, and I believe it's still on there. But it's called Oracle, and it's basically about this girl who has these these dreams and these visions of running through like these cornfields. And at first, you don't really know what's going on. You just see somebody running through cornfields, and it's like a POV. It ain't even a third person. It's just a POV shot of running through cornfields, and it's dark. You don't understand what's going on, and then she wakes up. And when she wakes up, she's talking to her best friend. And um, she's trying to find work. Excuse me, she's trying to find work. What I'm saying, to help pay the bills and everything else. And she ends up, she's working for this like this nanny service or whatever. And she ends up getting hired by this lady who's specifically looking for her. Um, she gets hired by the lady, but the thing is that the lady lives on a plantation, and so when she figures out it's a plantation house, she kind of second guesses it. She like, nah, I don't know if I should do this or not. Her friend like, girl, don't do that at all. That's stupid. You definitely don't want to go work there. But she need the money, so of course she goes to check it out. On her way to check it out, she's catching an Uber, and her and the Uber driver kind of flirting back and forth. And he feeling her or whatever. She finally get out, she meet the family or whatever. So, the lady introduces her kids, and you see two boys and you see a girl. And so, she's getting to know the kids or whatever, and the lady's walking around the house, and um she sees this picture of like this man and this lady from like the Confederate times and stuff, like Civil War or whatever. And she's trying to break down, the lady's breaking down, this is my aunt and uncle, or saying from the family, whatever. This is pretty much their old house, and they, we ended up getting it, blah blah blah. So a girl goes to babysit for the lady one night, and what she finds out is that the house is haunted, and um it's haunted by the lady who the aunt of the house or whatever that was in the picture. So she figures out that the aunt ended up killing one of her daughters or something like that, and because her daughter was friends with one of the little slave girls and so on and so forth. So the it's this one scene in the movie where she's calling and she's like, "Yeah, your daughter is missing." So she like, "What? I can't hear you." And she like, "Your daughter is missing." So she like, "I don't have a daughter." So the whole time she been kicking it with this ghost, and
Oh
she didn't even
shit.
know. Yeah. So then basically she figured her friend knew she was in trouble, so her friend tried to come and help her. The Uber dude tried to come and help her. He ended up dying. Her friend almost ended up dying. And then basically she figured out what was going on. She ended up stopping the ghost. And what I'm saying, everything was good after that. But it's a great movie, man. It's one of the ones that um for me at least, I liked it because it was something new, right? We never really seen a ghost movie um about slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And with something like that, you got to kind of be careful, but at the same time, if you can do it right, it can come out great. And I think that's what, what I'm saying, the writers and the producers and the rest of the staff, they did with this movie. They really put it together in a great way. And I enjoyed it. So check it out. It's on Max. It's called Oracle.
Okay. Sound very interesting. Um, so the third movie. Well, no, this is no. I'm going in the wrong direction. So this would be the
Fifth movie.
fifth movie. So the
Yeah.
fifth movie I'm speaking about. Look, we did a pod on this. Look, I just really just kind of disagree with the public, but to me, shit was funny. I'm sorry, and
Mhm.
that's the reboot of House Party. I'm sorry, man.
I had that on the list too. That's three.
I fuck with that
Yeah.
shit, man. That
I
shit was
enjoyed it
fucking
too.
funny to
Yeah.
me. I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
I get it. I know like the possibilities of the shit happening. Yeah, we know that's not gonna happen.
Right.
But as far as like I'm talking about watching this shit and enjoying this
Hmm.
shit. Like if you watched it for what it was, took the name House Party out of that shit, like that shit was hilarious. Like I
Good
forget
movie.
what my
Good
one
movie.
dark skinned dude name is, but that dude is fucking funny. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
yes, we know LeBron can't act. That's what makes the shit even more funnier. That's what makes it. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? But yo, man, at all time though, man, when his fucking aunt came in there and she was like,
Mhm.
man, she said, man, she said, clear this damn room. Somebody fuck the onion in here. Yo, that shit gets me every time. That shit is
Nah,
fucking
to me the best
hilarious.
part. To me, the best part is when he hyping him up and he got all his confidence up. He like, yeah, I'm gonna bust his ass. Then they got there and missed the shot.
Hey, that
They built
motherfucker
it up.
said,
They built it up so perfect, bro.
oh yeah. He was like, man, you know I could have went to the league, right? He looked at him
Yeah,
like, man, if you don't get the fuck out of here. I mean, you know, you could never
yeah.
go to no damn league.
That shit was
Yo,
funny.
I'm sorry, man. Like I know it has some of the format in it,
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. I think people expectations be just a little too high.
absolutely.
And I think when, you know what I'm saying, when I went into it, I looked at it like, okay, like House Party is one of those movies that I feel like you should leave alone. But if y'all are gonna do it, I felt like they did their own spin on it. Now they
And that
did
was, and
put,
that's the way you're supposed to do it.
yeah, and I think that they did took a few things from the original film and kind of
Hmm.
threw it in there to give it that, you know what I'm saying, that extra little, you know what I'm saying, nod or whatever. But like for the
Right.
most part, I think they really kind of made it their own. And like even the whole shit with Kid Cudi being all awkward and shit and talking about the
Hilarious.
Illuminati, like
Hilarious.
yo, and when Kid Cudi was on the floor dying, and that motherfucker said, "Don't worry about it, I'm the fifth Cudi" or some shit like
Bro,
that.
hilarious.
Yo, come on, man, that shit was funny, man. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
thought it was funny. So I watched it when it ended up being put on Max. Now it's all over the place. I even seen that shit on Tubi at some point. But
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I had to speak about House Party, man. I think they did a good job with it.
I agree. I definitely agree. I thought it was done well. Funny. You know what I'm saying? It had some great young talent in there, which I definitely appreciated. And you know what I'm saying? It was definitely one that paid homage to the original, but they definitely, you know what I'm saying, made something more modern for the new generation. And that's, you know what I'm saying, I think that's super important to do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you showing love to the original, but at the same time, like, yo, this is what House Party would be now. And I thought that was dope. Um, so for me, my fifth movie is I seen it in theaters again. You know what I'm saying? Another movie I went to theaters. This time I took my kids to go see it. And it was dope. It was fun, hilarious, action packed. And I'm talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Um, and it's basically, uh, you know what I'm saying, a movie for adults and kids alike. Because if you grew up like I did, you know what I'm saying, watching cartoons and stuff like that, then, you know what I'm saying, this is one of the cartoons you probably watched. Now, me personally, I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I always have been as a kid. My favorite turtle is Mikey. I always have been as a kid. I still have a 2 foot um, Michelangelo action figure at my grandmother's house in the attic. That's how much of a fan I was of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. For Christmas, I wanted the I think it's called the Kanai or something like that that Raphael had. I got the plastic ones for Christmas, and I ran around all day in my drawers like I was Raphael from the Turtles. So you know what I'm saying? When I was a little kid, man, that's just the Turtles was my joint. Um, and so basically this movie is it's sort of like an origin story for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It shows you how Master Splinter and the Turtles, you know what I'm saying, end up becoming what they were from, you know what I'm saying, the ooze from, you know what I'm saying, I think it's GCI or something, or CGI or something like that. Um, but they end up becoming, you know what I'm saying, the mutated versions of the animals. And then they end up fighting other mutated versions of, animals who ended up being experiments from the scientists that had created the, the ooze or whatever. They end up running into April O'Neil, who is a young black girl in high school that wants to be a great reporter. And I think they just put a totally dope spin on it. It's a lot of hip hop. It's one scene in the movie where they sitting there and she like, yeah, we got to get real New York, and they like, yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese, yo, 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 what's good? And then one of them like, yeah, what I'm saying? Like they do a lot of New York stuff. So I thought that was funny. My kids had a good time. I had a good time. We laughed, We was hype about it, man. It was just a good movie overall. Great family movie. If you get a chance to watch it with your kids, definitely check that out. That's something that, parents and kids can both enjoy alike. But it's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I'm not sure what it's out on. It might just still be out to rent or buy, but definitely watch that movie with your kids for sure.
Bad. I feel you on that one. So the sixth movie that I got down, yo, if y'all know me, this isn't any type of surprise. This isn't gonna be anything that's like, oh man, look at this wild card. But the film that I got, it was on Netflix. It actually came out in theaters and Netflix on the same day. I wish I would have went to the theaters to go see it, but I ended up watching it on Netflix, and that is Luther, the Fallen Son. Come on, man. I had to do Luther, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? My guy John Luther. Shout out to Idris Elba, man. Look, man, that shit was fucking fire, man. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? John Luther, they tied the show into it. Now they what they did do, which I appreciate how they did it, because I remember Idris Elba was talking on an interview, and he was just saying that there are a few things that we put in there that is for the day ones. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have had to watch the show to get 2 to 3 things. But they also wanted to do something to where if you are new, this is a whole new case. This is a whole new thing to where you can still watch it and it still makes sense. So I appreciate how they did that for, a person like me who have watched the show Luther at least 3 to 4 times. I've rewatched the whole fucking shit all over again. But no, it was dope, man. He ended up going to jail, breaking out of jail, and out on the run, my guy, solving the case. Like that's how dedicated he is to where he really wanted to break somebody, you know what I'm saying, to break a case by fucking. So what he got locked up for was his last case that was in the last season of Luther. So that's what he meant by there's a few things in there to where it's like if you were a day one watcher, you would understand. So he ended up getting locked up from his last case. This guy ended up setting him up to where that last case got him locked up. So he gets locked up. Huge fight in this fucking prison. He ended up getting broken out. He breaks out and he goes. You know what I'm saying? And yo, it's a superhero suit for me, man. When he put on that motherfucking blue shirt with the red tie with the gray coat and the blue jeans, that's a superhero suit. You know what I mean? Like when he put that on, like oh yeah, this is John Luther right here. This is John Luther. So so he goes, he's working on this case, and this one cop, she's dedicated on fucking taking him down. But what the antagonist, I would say, like what he was doing, like I said, they brought a modern age to it by. So what the dude was doing, he was blackmailing people on things that like they got either caught doing on film, or like he was basically using bribery to have people kill themselves. Right. So what he ended up doing is he also would bribe you by, like what he did to the cop lady for her to flip on John Luther's side, was he kidnapped her daughter. And
Okay.
so they had to go and go get her daughter. And what the dude was sick. You know what I'm saying? The antagonist guy. But like, man, look, I can't stress this enough. Like this is one of my favorite shows. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? That I've ever watched. And for them to put together a movie, they took the same formula that they did with Ray Donovan. You know what I'm saying? And they did a movie. And I just think that, man, out of all the things that came out last year, obviously this is my number 2 movie of the year. I love how they put it on Netflix and put it out in theaters the same day. I don't think he got nominated for anything, but
right.
I thought it was a dope ass film, man. So
Yeah.
shout out to Luther, The Fallen Son, which is on Netflix.
That's what's up, man. So my six is a movie that came out on Amazon Prime. Shout out to my mom because if it wasn't for her, I would have never watched this film. Uh, at least not when it had came out. But she was, she kept telling me, "Yo, this movie is coming out. This movie coming out. I want to watch it. Watch it with me or whatever." And I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll check it out with you." And it stars Jamie Foxx, Tommy Lee Jones, and Journey Smollett. And it's called The Burial. And
Mm.
this movie was amazing, bro. So it basically, the movie is basically about Tommy Lee Jones. He gets something happens to him. I forgot what happened to him, but something happens to him, and basically he's suing the company. I think they tried to like take his business or something like that, or whatever it was. He's basically suing the company, and he has a lawyer, but he decides to try a new lawyer because he doesn't think his lawyer could take the case. And he hears about this guy that lives in Florida that's a lawyer who is Jamie Foxx, and he's never lost a case. He ain't never lost a case. So he like, yo, if I could bring him on, this will help. We could win this or whatever. And so um Jamie Foxx joins the team, and he's this real flamboyant lawyer. He got jets and cars and everything else. And he got, saying like this superstar team of other lawyers and they doing their thing. So the other side is that Journey Smollett is a lawyer as well. And they end up the company end up hiring her to defend them. And so they basically going at it in court and everything else like that. And um, Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones, they end up creating a bond and they end up getting cool and what I'm saying, they end up meeting each other's families and stuff like that. It's a real feel good type movie. You know what I'm saying? And basically Tommy Lee Jones ends up winning. And what I'm saying, it's just another, what I'm saying, basically another win for Jamie Foxx's, what I'm saying, character. But now it's a big time win. So now, he's like this big time lawyer who's getting more press and stuff like that. I believe it's based on a true story, but it's a great movie, man. Another one, if you want to check it out with the family, definitely check it out with the family. It's just one of those movies that you can sit back and you can laugh at. You know what I'm saying? You might jerk a tear every now and then, but it's definitely one of those that, what I'm saying, is just an all around feel good movie. Uh, excuse me, and the cast did amazing. The acting, of course, was great. The script was amazing. Definitely check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called The Burial.
Right, bet. Sounds good. Sounds good. So this is the final and my number 1 film of the year of 2023. And I went to see this in theaters. I think it's on Prime right now. But I actually just watched this movie the other week, man. Like it's just that damn good. But I'm sorry, man. Shout out to the first movie that he directed. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, man.
Creed
Motherfucking
3.
Creed 3.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
good. It was real good.
Creed 3 was so fire, man. You look. If anybody know anything about me, I love to for you to go back and explain a story for me to really to bring the whole circle in and
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
just show him as a kid, you know what I'm saying, and him and Dame and all this type shit, and correlate that with the future with this dude coming in the way that he came in, and he has reached all the heights. He has retired as a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to raise his daughter, and then the dude come back up, and it's just like I felt the story in this movie was fucking heartfelt. The betrayal was heartfelt. You know what I'm saying? For the whole thing of putting in the time. I don't think people understood this. To put in the time to learn sign.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like I
Because
think
it's
that
not an
that was
easy language to learn.
yes, and I think it was very unappreciated. I think that
Mm-hmm.
that was something I never really heard anybody talk about was the fact that like they could have just been like, all right, yeah, we did the hearing test. First of all, in the second one, they didn't even have to do that shit. They could have
Right.
completely left that shit out.
Right.
But they put it in there because remember, Tessa Thompson, she can hear, but it's starting to go
Yeah.
away. And she's trying to save as much of the ear power that she can. But their
Mm-hmm.
daughter can't hear at all. But they could have put in that she can hear. But they went the route of saying that she can't hear, and now he has to learn sign. She
Right.
has to learn sign. And to have an actor that is trained in the box, he's fucking directing the film at the same time. He
Mm-hmm.
has to learn fucking sign. And he gotta lift and keep his body. I just don't think Michael B. Jordan got enough credit for the fucking job that he did for this movie.
Absolutely.
And to continue a story and make it heartfelt. I think that when it comes to this whole Rocky Creed thing, which we talked about Rocky when we did the slide joint,
Mm-hmm.
but like to take a movie that is a boxing movie but make it more about family, the same way that Rocky did, they was able to do that. Even though Sylvester Stallone wasn't in this movie, they still took that same formula into this movie. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they got enough credit for doing that. And watching this and the part that there's multiple parts in this movie, but the two that really stood out to me, and I'm gonna shut up, is the one scene where it was, I forget which round it was. I think it was the eighth round.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the round where the
Oh,
crowd was gone.
yo, did you hear how he started? Like, did you hear how he created that?
No,
You know, that's all anime inspired.
I can see that.
Yeah, that was all anime inspired. That's how he ended up creating that scene. That was an amazing scene, bro.
It really was. Like that scene was amazing. I
Hmm.
love that how they did it because I've never seen that in a movie before.
Right.
And the other scene was, this was the scene that there was a few scenes that about got me. Um, but the scene where after the fight, he goes in Dane's room to go talk to him. He was like, he apologized to him. He was like, man, it's not your fault. It's like, man, we were kids. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And how they were just able to mend that past in that
Hmm.
moment. It was just, for me, it was a heartfelt scene to see two dudes who were like brothers. When they showed them when they were younger, they were like brothers. They went through a traumatic thing together where they was getting beat as kids in the fucking group home.
Hmm.
And for Dame to have this resentment for him because he felt that he was living his life,
Right.
and for him to set him up to get a title fight and all this type of shit, and for them to finally let bygones be bygones and just be like, man, you know what? Like we good. I
Yeah.
thought that those two scenes was like that shit was just great cinema, man. Shout out to Michael B.
Absolutely.
Jordan, Tessa Thompson, and um, um, Jonathan Majors. Like,
Hmm.
man, they put together a great fucking film. I would love to. I've seen an interview of Sylvester Stallone before the movie came out,
Hmm.
saying that how he wanted to be in the film, but when they was filming it, he was doing a Tulsa King,
Yeah.
so it was the timing didn't mesh or whatever
Right.
whatnot. But I would love to hear what he feel about it, because I think that I personally would think, from watching it, Sly, I think he would appreciate it, because they would,
Absolutely.
they made it a family film. It was a
Hmm.
family film that just had boxing in it.
Right.
But I think they did a great job, man. So shout out to everybody that was involved in the film.
Absolutely, man. So if you know me, man, you know my number one movie was All About the Laughs. When I first heard that this movie was coming out, I vowed to go see it in the movie theater. I didn't get a chance to, but I definitely found a way to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Throughout my methods of madness, I found a way to watch it, and I enjoyed every last bit of it. You know what I'm saying? My number one movie for 2023 was Cocaine Bear. Um, Man, you talking about just first and foremost, the concept of it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? To take this true story that happened where, you know what I'm saying, this plane flies over this area. I think there's in Florida. And the plane flies over and the dude ends up dropping all of these fucking kilos of cocaine, and this bear is in the, you know what I'm saying, in this natural habitat, and just sniffs it, eats it, and you know what I'm saying, like the bear is just getting high as a kite and going crazy. um they did a great job with this story. They did a great job with this concept. They made it super funny, you know what I'm saying. um Shout out to O'Shea Jackson Jr., you know what I'm saying, for him to be in this movie doing his thing. I thought was great. He showed his ass in this movie. Um, to be playing like a gangster or whatever, without really being a gangster, I thought was hilarious. Um, Shout out to, I think Ray Liotta was in this one.
Yes, really. That was his
Yeah,
last film before he
yep.
passed.
Rest in
Rest
peace
in
to Ray
peace.
Liotta. Ray Liotta was in this. Hilarious, by the way. Even though his role was to be like the top gangster dude, he still was funny. Um, I forgot what the black dude's name is, but he on the wire, he be like, "She
Yeah.
got your ass." Yeah, he was hilarious. He was like the sheriff or whatever. He was hilarious. Um, this whole movie was just funny nonstop from beginning to end. I enjoy watching this movie as much as possible. Anytime I don't have nothing to watch, I throw Cocaine Bear on. Hilarious, nonstop. My favorite movie of 2023. It's everywhere at this point. Check it out, Cocaine Bear. You will not be disappointed, especially if you like comedies. You won't be disappointed.
Well, also we did a pod on this, so y'all can go back in the archives and go check
Hmm.
that out. But just a small recap, man. I had as my seventh film, I had Sick. My sixth film, I had The Locksmith. For the fifth one, I had Evil Dead Rise. For the fourth one, I had Oppenheimer. For the third one, I had House Party. The second one, Luther, The Fallen Son. And number one, I had Creed 3.
Okay, so I deleted my list as I was going on, so I wouldn't forget. So I don't remember what I had like in order. But you know what I'm saying? If you really need to go back, just go back on the playback. You
Yeah,
can
it's
check it
all
out.
good. It's all
Yeah. I'm in a
good.
bad circumstance right now, man. So you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
I can't usually move how I usually move. So my apologies for not relisting mine. But if, like I said, man, just go back and check it out. It's definitely a good list. Um, if you enjoyed our list, if you didn't enjoy our list, if you too have a list that you would like to share with us, or you know what I'm saying, you think is better than ours, then hit us up on the socials. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Um What we got coming up next? Coming soon. Mm, moving too fast.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
Okay, so are we doing Pieces of Her?
Probably not. Probably can't do Pieces of Her. Y'all be doing this on the fly because we both
Yeah,
are
because we didn't agree on
music.
anything this time.
Well,
Yeah,
we both on devices that we usually aren't on, so we don't have all the
true.
stuff in front of us like we normally do. So
Yeah.
I'm not even really sure on what is next.
Hold
I
on,
just
give me a
know.
minute. I got you.
Okay, I just know that when it
Uh,
comes to Pieces of Her, it'll be 8 episodes that needs to be watched, and I just know
Absolutely.
that I wouldn't have enough time to get that in by the end of the week.
Right. So that
Um,
that might have to be something we do over the weekend. What about Straight Outta Compton?
yes, let's do that.
Okay. So the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the story of how NWA started, one of the most iconic rap groups coming straight out of the West Coast, or no pun intended, straight out of Compton. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So y'all tune in with us and check it out. Get ready. If you've never seen this movie, definitely get a chance to watch it. If you don't know who NWA is, get on your phones, get on all your DSPs, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. Search NWA, and you'll figure out who they are. Um, but like I said, if you enjoyed the list, if you didn't enjoy the list, if you have a list that you would like to send us, hit us up on the socials, IG and X at View Pod. You can hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. We have a community on X, Viewers Anonymous, and like I said in the beginning of the episode, do not forget to subscribe. $2.99 a month. The link is in the description. You can go there, click it, sign up. You won't be mad. You know what I'm saying? We got 8 episodes out right now, but we're gonna have a lot more in store for you this year. So, you know what I'm saying? Click that link. And if you like to follow me on X at Scoots Bronson, I have a link tree in my bio. You can follow me everywhere else there.
And y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram and on X at 28 minutes or less pod. That is just on IG. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. It's on all major platforms. New episode alert just came out yesterday, or the day before, whenever you get this. A top 5 albums of the year. So I dropped that podcast, episode 141. So go check that out whenever you get a chance. Go support the boy. And that's all I got, man.
Cool, man. Excuse me. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Um, as always, your support is greatly appreciated. Um, Happy New Year to everybody out there that's tuned in. And like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.